Hey Canucks fans, it's expansion draft day, and are you worried that the Seattle Kraken are going to walk out of tonight with a better roster than the Vancouver Canucks? I'm Canuck Clay. I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club. This is my Canucks take all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Wednesday, July the 21st. Subscribe now for Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. Don't forget, I'll be live streaming the Seattle expansion draft, the Seattle Kraken expansion draft tonight. Starts at 5 p.m. the broadcast. I'll be jumping on around 4:45 p.m. Pacific time tonight right here on my YouTube channel. We can talk about what we expect, and then we'll analyze each pick as it's announced. So make sure you join me tonight. I'll be also live streaming the first round of or at least the top half of the first round of the NHL entry draft on Friday. But I hope you join me tonight just before 5 p.m. right here on this channel. Things are getting hot and heavy. We knew that this week was going to be crazy for NHL fans, for Canucks fans, for if you're a fan of any team, basically, because it's a week of madness. It's the expansion draft tonight, it's the NHL entry draft Friday, Saturday, and it's free agency next Wednesday. So this week will go a long way to shaping what your favorite team is going to look like. So we're going to talk about Vancouver vis-a-vis Seattle, vis-a-vis Vegas in a couple minutes, but let's talk about what sort of things we've already been hearing about today. So some big names not going to Seattle. And these are based on reports from, there's some really, really good reporters, but trusted guys like Pierre LeBrun, Elliot Friedman, Frank Cervelli, Chris Johnson, guys like that. So we're hearing some big names not going to Seattle. Carey Price apparently will not be going to Seattle, will stay with the Montreal Canadiens. Vladimir Tarasenko will not be leaving the St. Louis Blues, at least not for Seattle. And Gabriel Landeskog also not leaving Colorado for Seattle. I should say Tarasenko and Landeskog might leave the Blues and Avalanche respectively, but not for the Seattle Kraken. So those are at least three names that we are hearing that the Seattle Kraken have not chosen. Price, Tarasenko, and Landeskog. And those are arguably three of the biggest names that were on these lists, and a lot of rumors going around them. Guys that we know Seattle sounds like they're going to take we know that they're going to sign the goalie out of Florida, Chris Driedger, and we know that this morning it was announced that they came to terms with UFA free agent defenseman Adam Larson, formerly of the Edmonton Oilers. So it sounds like they're going to be choosing Adam Larson. It sounds like they're going to not choosing Adam Larson. They're traded for Adam Larson. Actually, no, I shouldn't say they traded for him. Technically, he's a UFA. So they will be signing Adam Larson, and therefore that counts as the pick from the Edmonton Oilers. I got to make sure I get that right. It wasn't a trade. It was a free agent signing. So don't forget, any UFAs that the Seattle Kraken signed, that's deemed to be the pick from that team that they came from. So if they somehow wanted to sign Edler, Hamonic, or Sutter, I don't know why they would do that when you could just sign them next. Well, there's a reason why you sign a UFA early. You gives them an extra year. If you trade for UFA's rights, you can negotiate an 8th year, but I'm not like they're going to try and do that with Adam Larson. Or it might be a simple. The reason why Seattle would do it is they would get to him early before he becomes a true UFA next week. Seattle's had this exclusive negotiating opportunity. So all to say, they're picking Adam Larson, and therefore that counts as the Edmonton Oilers. Their pick from the Oilers. Same if they chose Hamonic, Edler, or Sutter from the Canucks, that would count as their pick from Vancouver. So Adam Larson from Edmonton to Seattle. Sounds like Seattle's also eyeing Yanni Gourde out of Tampa Bay and Jared McCann out of Toronto. Those are three of the rumors that we've been hearing from this morning. And if Jared McCann indeed goes from the Toronto Maple Leafs, it kind of flies in the face, just kind of like the fish flew in the face of the Seattle Pike Market guy, of the Alexander Kerfoot video that many people were talking about that I referred to in yesterday's vlog. Okay, so there's some big names. Price, Tarasenko, Landeskog not going to Seattle, but Larson, McCann, and Yanni Gourde apparently indeed going to Seattle. So there are some names. When it comes to Vancouver standpoint, it sounds like Rick Dhaliwal is saying that they're leaning towards Cole Lind, not Yona Gadjevich, not Matthew Highmore, not Zach McEwen, and possibly not Braden Holtby. So that's the biggest thing that we'll look at from the Canucks standpoint. Is I've talked about, I think is going to the three guys I said would be Lind, Holtby, or McEwen. It sounds like it'll be Lind or Holtby, and Rick Dhaliwal, who I trust. You guys know I trust is probably the most connected guy in this local market when it comes to the Canucks. He is saying it's going to be Cole Lind as opposed to Braden Holtby. And that would make sense. Obviously it would be great if the Canucks could unload Holtby and his full salary in the expansion draft, but then it looks like teams negotiating a trade for Holtby will want the Canucks to retain some of his salary. Okay, as we head into this expansion draft tonight, are you worried that the Seattle Kraken are going to come out of tonight with a better roster than the Vancouver Canucks? And a few caveats here, and I've been saying these for the past week, and I'm going to probably pound them in everyone's head during my live stream tonight, is number one, whoever Seattle picks tonight, expect half of that team, half of the roster, to not be on their opening night roster in October. And we saw that with the Vegas Golden Knights. They loaded up on defensemen and then flipped a lot of them for draft picks. That's why Vegas has so many picks for the past few years and going forward. So that's the first thing, is remember, whoever Seattle picks tonight, it doesn't mean that's going to be their final roster 3 months from now or 2.5 months from now. Number two, for the same reason, don't worry about salary cap. I know a lot of people have been doing mock drafts with this $81.5 million salary cap. A, those aren't going to be the players. And B, that's with a 30-man roster. You only have to have a salary cap for a 23-man active roster. So a lot of the mock drafts I'm doing, they either don't worry about that or they forget about that fact, which is fine. No big deal. People are having fun doing mock drafts. That's the more important thing. So I think those are some of the kind of things that we're going to have to look at tonight. But having said that, the Kraken are going to walk out of a roster that has guys like likely Vince Dunn instead of Tarasenko of St. Louis. So Vince Dunn, maybe Mark Giordano, and then Adam Larson and Jake Bean. That could be a top four for instance, on the blue line for Seattle. They could walk out of here with Drieger and Kapanen as their goaltenders. Cheap but efficient. And then they could wind up with wingers like McCann and Yanni Gord and so on and so forth. And then one of the big guys from Philly maybe. So do you think that Seattle could walk out of tonight with a roster that, at least on paper, is stronger than the Canucks? I go either way on this, depending, of course, on who Seattle chooses. But they won't have, say, the young promise of a Pettersson and a Hughes and a Höglander and Puck Holzen. Like, those are four guys who I think, obviously, Seattle won't have those type of guys just yet. Especially Pettersson and Hughes, guys that weren't even, only 3 years or less in the league. So that's the one part where they won't get, but that's where Seattle's got to kind of build their team. But I know a lot of Vancouver Canucks fans are going to not want, they're excited about the Seattle, but they don't want Seattle to succeed so quickly, because we saw what Vegas has done in their first 4 years. First year, they made it to the Stanley Cup Finals. Second year, they lost in the first round, that epic collapse against San Jose in the first round, and we know what happened in that Game 7. Then in the third year, that was the COVID bubble, they made it to the conference finals against Dallas after beating Vancouver. And then just this past season, they made it to the conference finals, or you'd say the Stanley Cup semifinals, losing to Montreal. So Vegas has made it technically to the final round once, to the third round twice, and then eliminated in the first round. But they've made the playoffs all 4 of their first 4 seasons. And I know a lot of Vancouver Canucks fans do not want to see the Vegas Golden Knights succeed, especially at our expense. So maybe we have the same type of feeling, same sort of sentiments directed towards the Seattle Kraken. Regardless, it's going to be so much fun tonight. I hope you join me for my live stream starting just before 5 p.m. Pacific time. And for the comments today, I want you to leave a comment. Number one, are you hoping... No, I think it's 3 questions. 2 about Seattle versus Vancouver. Do you think that the Seattle Kraken is going to come out with a better roster than the Vancouver Canucks at the end of tonight? And does it matter to you? Or do you hope that they don't succeed? So those are kind of my first 2 questions. And the third one, what's the biggest name that you think is going to end up on the Seattle Kraken roster by the end of tonight? So again, stay abreast on Twitter. A lot of people breaking news throughout the day. So I don't know how many of these picks will actually be surprises tonight, but it'll still be a lot of fun to talk about them. So I hope that you do so. And in the comments, do you think that Seattle is going to be a stronger team than Vancouver on paper? Number 2, does it really matter to you? And number 3, who's the biggest name that's going to be on the Seattle roster by the end of tonight? Leave a comment below. I'd love to read, react, and reply as always. Shout out to my Hall of Fame members: Jens95, simalexander, Justin Credwell, nucksfan number 29, Lucas Gates, Chris Seifert, Adam Broomfield, Shea Family Channel, Jamie Sports Talk and more, Shannon Hollingworth, and Andrew Chang. Thanks for your support as always, and thanks to the support of members of all levels. You're listed in my video descriptions. If you want to become a member of the CCC Crew, press the join button underneath this or in my videos on the memberships tab on my YouTube channel. I hope to see you tonight at just before 5 p.m. for my live stream. Subscribe if you'd like to, like this video if you'd like to, become a member of this channel if you'd like to, and leave a comment if you'd like to. Have a great day. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. God bless, and go Canucks go.